fuck is the chivalry? There is no more chivalry.
Whole cart full of groceries. You know who's pushing the cart? The female.
Clearly I'm capable, no problem. But while I was loading, 5 men passed by me, watching me, and not one of them offered to help.
And how would helping benefit men? In a deeper perspective, the incentives and survival mechanics have shifted so drastically that the old hero/provider contract often feels obsolete. The old version of chivalry died because the world it protected doesn't exist anymore.
Where the fuck is the chivalry? There is no more chivalry. You know, I just came out of the post office, and why the fuck am I holding a door open for a man? Like a grown-ass man? What? You know, I'm sorry. I'm old school, and I miss the days where men were holding open doors. Why are women holding open doors for men? I'm sorry. I know this is gonna offend, like, hella people, but chivalry is fucking dead.
No matter how many times you say chivalry is dead, it's not going to magically resurrect itself. Men are fine with that. Hold the door on your own and stop complaining. Men are just playing by the rules. You wanted to be seen as strong and independent, right? So be it.
I'm really afraid chivalry is actually going to die with the generation above us, because I was just at Restaurant Depot and these 2 old men were parked next to me about to unload their car, and they were just too old to be able to help me in the loading my car way because the boxes are really heavy, and at this point I'm physically probably stronger than them just because they're at that point in age. But they realized they couldn't do anything to help me in that way, so you know what they did? They walked my cart back to the building so I didn't have to do it. They were like, oh, like, I'm trying to help you out, like, there you go. And then they just go about their day and say, have a great day. I'm like, have a great day. And those old men were so sweet. And I don't remember the last time a guy in our generation did something nice for me and didn't go, so what do I get now? What do I get out of this? Like, there's never just chivalry just because it makes you feel like a man because you're helping somebody out. Like, I help people out as much as I can. I hold every single door I hold, you know what I mean? Like, just little things like that. But I think, like, I don't know. I'm like, every chivalrous act I've experienced is from an older man.
Yes, older men are usually the heroes when there's a damsel in distress. If it was a mid-tier, regular-looking guy, he'd be called a creepy stalker trying to assault women. So men have dropped the moral code to help women because the risk outweighs the reward. And to be honest, is there even a reward?
Most men in 2025 are a fucking disgrace. Let me just tell you what I just witnessed, okay? I am in a shopping center by my house. There is a grocery store in this shopping center. As I'm pulling in, a couple, girl and a guy, come walking out in front of me, whole cart full of groceries. You know who's pushing the cart? The female. The female's pushing the cart. And not only is the female pushing the cart, she has a boot on her foot. Like one of the, I call them a moon boot. The moon boots, like she's injured. He is holding his keys, his vape, and the receipt. While his girlfriend, who is clearly injured, pushes the fucking cart. Where did we lose it along the way? Where did we lose it along the way? I don't understand. Push the fucking cart, push the stroller, carry the bags, open the door. Like, when do we lose that? It's disgraceful. It's just disgraceful at this point.
You know what's actually disgraceful? Jumping into conclusions and painting every man as the villains of the entire world. These women are so angry that they try to find any possible way to trash men. There could have been dozens of explanations, but she instantly jumps into one conclusion, that men are useless. If your conclusion is already decided, any random moment becomes proof, even when you don't know the full story.
Do you know what I actually can't believe? Yesterday I was on the tube coming home and a drunk man got on the tube. He sat next to me originally and was chatting to some other people that had a dog. Oh my god, the bags under my eyes. And And then they got off the tube and he was like looking at me and I was just ignoring him. I was just doing my own little thing. Then he moved and sat opposite me on the tube and then he was going, hello, hello. And I just looked at him and was like, I was like on my phone, but I like looked at him and he was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, where are you from? You from Italy? And I was like, no. He was like, you from here? And I was like, no, because it was like London. I was like, no, somewhere else. He was like, oh, you're on holiday? I was like, no, just travelling. I was trying to be like just short and like get him to stop speaking to me. And he was going like, oh, well, he had a beer in his hand and he kept spilling his beer everywhere. And I was just trying to ignore him. And he was like, are you married? And I was like, yeah, I'm married. Obviously not, but I was like, yeah, I'm married. He was like, oh, have you got children? I was like, no. He was like, oh, so you're single then? I was like, no, I'm married. And then he was like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 20. I was like, if I knock a few years off, maybe he'll leave me alone. As if that would make a difference. And he was like, oh, young. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. Then he just kept like mumbling like Italian words because he thought I was Italian. And I was just like, on my phone, like, and he just would not stop. He was just like, he was like going, high five me, shake my hand, all this. And then he was like, oh, bye, I'm getting off now. Then he stood up and he was just still looking at me, like just standing there. And then he didn't get off. He sat back down and he was like, oh, not getting off yet, actually. And I was like, oh, okay. While this is going on, there's a bunch of men around me that were English because they were speaking English like a minute ago before he got on. And they were all just ignoring it. They were all just like leaving him to just literally harass me.
Okay, let's pause for a little bit. See how she easily frames the other men to make it seem like they intentionally wanted this douche to harass her. The men probably did see her talking to the guy, but to say that they were leaving him to harass her is a dumb assumption. And what about the women that were in the train? Did she also assume that the women are letting this guy harass her?
And then notice like the last stop of the train is where I was getting off, and that's obviously where he was getting off because it was the last stop. So he was like, oh, okay, I'm getting off now. Obviously I hadn't realised it was the last stop, so I said, oh, bye, and I let him get off and I stayed on the tube for a bit just so that he could walk ahead. And like, again, no one said anything to me apart from one girl took her headphones out and she went, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just like letting him walk ahead for a bit so like he doesn't speak to me anymore. And she was like, oh, I couldn't tell if he was bothering you or not. Like, I appreciate that the girl actually asked me if I was all right and everything, but like the men didn't do anything. Like, chivalry is dead, but also you couldn't tell he was bothering me. He was quite clearly bothering me. And then as we got off, she was like, I'll walk with you for a bit, but like, I'm not leaving the station, I'm getting on another train, so I can't come outside with you.
So she did get the help she wanted, but it was from a woman who said she couldn't even tell if the guy was bothering her. If even the woman right next to her couldn't clearly tell it was harassment, then expecting random guys across the carriage to jump in is unrealistic. You had a drunk, unpredictable guy on public transport. Most people, men included, are going to avoid escalating that, not jump in.
And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, and then as we were walking, the guy had stopped and he like turned around and he saw me and he was like, oh, you, Italy. And I was just ignoring him and he was like, oi, are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring me? And I was just like, I'm just going to keep ignoring him, just walking. He was going, oi. And then I was like, right, keys are in my hand right now. I had to walk to my car, and bear in mind, I had to get off at Ealing Broadway, which is like a scatty station, scatty area. So the route to my car was like literally a 2-minute walk. But because he was behind me, I didn't want him to follow me. So I actually went like a different route and started walking with a group of people so that I wasn't on my own. Because the route to my car, I would have been walking on my own and it was dark. And then he wandered off somewhere else and I like literally like, not sprinted, but speed walked to my car. But yeah, I was texting my mum as well at the time and I was like, why is nobody like helping me? They can quite clearly see that this man is bothering me. Why has no man stepped in to help? It really bothered me.
I do pity her. Nobody deserves to experience that bullshit, and credits to her for handling it on her own. But to say that no man stepped in to help her is a stretch when she never asked for help, and even the person next to her couldn't tell what was going on. And this is exactly where the frustration comes in. People expect men to read minds and jump into situations that aren't clearly defined. She stayed quiet, gave short answers, didn't call for help, didn't make it obvious she wanted intervention, and then blamed strangers for not acting on a situation they couldn't fully interpret. That's not how reality works, my darling. You don't get to stay passive in the moment and then be outraged after the fact that nobody stepped in based on assumptions.
Quick question here. Are there no real men at Home Depot at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon? Normally I take one of my kids with me to help load, but today was a bit of an emergency and they're all in school. I bought several sheets of 4x8 and about a dozen studs and headed to my car and loaded them all by myself. Clearly I'm capable, no problem. But while I was loading, 5 men passed by me, watching me, and not one of them offered to help. Even the Home Depot employees were standing around watching. I have 5 sons and a husband, and never would they pass by a woman of any age and not offer to help her. I know, I've been told I'm a little intimidating and scary to approach. So no need to write that in the comments. I guess I'm just a little disappointed.
Guys, I know it's getting tiring at this point, where these stories are based on expectations and assumptions. But it is what it is. This is where we are now, where women are still expecting men to help them even if the risk is higher than the reward. They assume and expect men to help, so it's just also fair for men to assume they don't need help.
I just had the realization that chivalry is indeed dead. And if you do have a man that shows you chivalry, you are a very lucky woman. I just got from the train, I'm in the street now, obviously. A lady clearly struggling with her suitcase. I don't know if she's traveling or for business. Literally 10 different men passed her. And I feel like I'm the only one that had the initiative to ask, oh ma'am, do you need help with your suitcase? Or just I need to get to my destination and I don't want to be late, you know? It's just wow, all those men that passed her. And not one man asked her if she needed help. A lady that's clearly struggling. She wasn't young. She was middle-aged? It's just sad, man. So all those videos that you see on TikTok that women are saying chivalry is dead, that shit is the truth, bro. Unless you can find a man that adores you and that likes you, because we know men all the time date women they don't like just for the benefit of what she can provide. A man that's actually into you and adores you, he's gonna not just show you chivalry, yes, that too, but just help you in your time of need, just in general, whatever that may be. It's just crazy out here, bro. Men are literally the woman now. What? I don't know. I just feel if I was a man and I saw that, I would want to help her. You know what I'm saying? That's just so weird to me. Anyways, just wanted to say that. It's nothing new that I'm saying. But yeah, I felt propelled, whatever the word is, compelled to make a video about that.
I said it before and I'll say it again. There are no wives left. There are plenty of women and girlfriends possibly, but there are no wives left. And I say that because it just gives hood rat. It just gives, we're in a hood rat era. They're online talking about how they don't cook. They're online talking about how they don't clean. They're online, they don't want no kids, but yet they're twerking all day. They're VIP bottle rats. That's all we're seeing. And it's these are the behaviors that they're going to teach your future daughters. You know what I mean? So I see why y'all don't want to marry them. It's always baddie, shot o'clock. I don't even know the saying if that's right. I just learned it. Anyways, but like I said, I just feel there are no wives left. Again, if you're just looking for a woman to do sexual things with and probably give her some money, I'm pretty sure a lot of people like that arrangement because they're online talking about they don't do all these things, but then they get mad when they ask a man for $500 on a random Tuesday. It's why are y'all expecting money from men who y'all aren't giving anything to? I mean, ass or cash. I mean, y'all gonna have to make some decisions pretty soon. I mean, it's just seeming women, men are cooking more, they're cleaning, they're doing everything by themselves. It's kind of women are becoming obsolete because it's what do you have to offer? What besides some ass? I mean, what do you have to offer? I mean, men appreciate a home cooked meal. They appreciate even appreciation. That's the freest thing you can give a man. He will love you to the end of time if you show him appreciation. He can be starving, and if you appreciate him, he will still be oh, thanks, babe. You know, but it's y'all not cooking, y'all not cleaning, y'all are embarrassing to be with. It's y'all talking about how embarrassing men are. No, women are really embarrassing. Imagine coming home from work and there's no meal, and you got to cook your own meal. Imagine coming home from work and this girl been here all day and your house is dirty. It's
That is embarrassing. You know, like in the night, I mean, y'all keep talking about I'm always bringing up the past. I am always bringing up the past. Like, oh, they were getting beat. Everybody was, my grandma didn't get beat, but the house was still clean and the meals were still cooked. Okay, let me just talk about stuff that I know for a fact that my grandmas did not get. They put paws on because they was, you know, good women. But maybe y'all grandmas was hood rat. Maybe y'all grandmas was hoes. Maybe that's why they was getting beat. Shit, I don't know. But if that's all y'all got to go back on, something's got to change.
Men used to go to war for the women that they loved. Men used to build houses from the ground up with their bare hands for the woman that they loved. Men would go and work in coal mines and steel mills, endangering their life just to bring their whole checks to their wives because they loved them. Men used to stand out in front of a woman's house and profess their love by serenading her with flowers and R&B music at the top of their lungs. Because they loved them and they wanted everybody to know, that's my woman and I love her. And now we are online arguing about who gonna go 50-50 and whether or not we should go Dutch on the first date. Now the ladies are complaining that the men won't spend no money. They won't do nothing for me. I want to point out that it might be because everything that man could possibly work for that's of value, you give it all away online. Your booty is the main attraction of all of your photos on your Instagram. Twerking seems to be your only skill set on the TikTok. And you are proud to post your smoking and your drinking and your sexual exploits on the Facebooks and the Snapchats, right? What do they have left to pay for? What do they have left to work for? And regardless if y'all want to admit the truth or not, men are territorial. Men like to possess things. That's just how they're made. They are made to go out, hunt, gather, and conquer. Y'all like it when they making all the money, right? But they want to be able to say, that's my woman. That's my family. That's my home. The more we tell these men that we don't want you, we don't need you, and I can do what I want to do, my body, my choice, the less they feel like they need to be responsible for you. That might be why we're not getting what we want. Well, not us, but them.